Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the eclipse that is happening on the 8th. It'll be tomorrow for you. We're going to just jump right in here and see what is coming up for you with this eclipse. You have the Seven of Swords as your starting card here, and it really wouldn't surprise me if there was some sort of truth coming out. As I always say, we are in a time of truth, but also eclipses can expose the truth or can, kind of bring something to light, maybe not during the eclipse, but kind of like after the eclipse. Yeah, it looks like you're being enlightened to something here, Libra. Really good for love, too. I'm pretty surprised, honestly, that, so many people have had really pretty decent love readings because of this eclipse. Although, like I said at the beginning of the year, it was kind of surprising to me just because I wasn't expecting it, that there would be so much love at the end of the year. Again, Mars retrograde, a bunch of planets retrograde, Mercury going retrograde again at the end of December. It's like bam, 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 bam. It's like not really great for love. Although, again, as I always say, don't allow tarot or astrology to control your life. There have been so many times where it's like, according to astrology or according to tarot, something won't happen for me, but then it does, or happens better. I always tell people, like, I bought this computer as well that I'm using to run all this during a retrograde. Had it for years, still works. So, it's like, is it always true? I would say no. But with the Seven of Swords here in your current general energies, I do feel like I kind of feel like something is being exposed here. If this is a truth coming out, you already know the truth. And I feel the truth has already been exposed because your crossing energy is the Five of Pentacles. This kind of says to me that maybe you're kind of having a hard time getting over something. Because again, the Five of Pentacles is your crossing energy. So maybe someone told you the truth in a relationship or in some other area of your life. And, as they say, the truth hurts. So here's the Five of Pentacles. But, it's like both people are out in the cold. So if this was a love situation, it's like both people are hurting. And again, there's a saying, I know it's cliche, but, hurt people hurt people. So if someone hurt you by lying, I feel like they're in pain as well. But I think you have a choice whether or not you stay out in the cold. It's crazy to me as well that a lot of people have been getting the Six of Wands. What does this tell us? It tells us that there's a lot of attention for all of us, that we could all be getting a lot of attention. This could be in love, but doesn't have to be. I kind of feel the Six of Wands really has more to do with like success in business or work or standing out for doing a great job, just in life in general. So I feel there's like a lot of opportunity for you to kind of like really get out of this energy. But, as I always say to people, tarot is just opportunities. People always say, you said this would happen and nothing happened. I'm like, no, I make it very freaking clear in my readings. I'm like the only tarot reader that's like, you have to do something. You have to move your freaking ass to get things done, right? Nothing just happens in life and it just doesn't work that way. So you have to do things, right? But the other interesting thing is I get a very stuck in the mud feeling. You have the Two of Wands. And this is true for everyone. It's kind of like that feeling of, I think if you go through a breakup, everybody's always like, well, get back to the gym or do something to make yourself feel better, right? But it's like, do you want to do that when you go through a breakup? If you're being honest with yourself, the answer is no, because you're feeling sad and depressed, right? So, that's kind of like the feeling. And I'm not saying that's how you feel here, Libra. I'm just saying that, there's like a little bit of resistance. And again, it seems that this resistance is kind of coming up for everyone. And so you're not the only one where maybe in the area of your thoughts, with the Two of Wands, it's like you're thinking about taking the lead. You're thinking about getting out into the world. He has the whole world in his hands. He's thinking about doing something. But are you going to do it? Well, I would say yes, because you go Two of Wands to the Six of Wands. You do have the Hangman, but the Hangman, could just say that you're gaining enlightenment as to like why you had to go through this in the first place. That's kind of why I'm getting this. But you're only going to gain the enlightenment if you start moving forward. In the area of your foundation, you have the King of Pentacles, financial success, abundance, stability. Again, this eclipse is happening on the 8th in Taurus. This is Taurus right here. So financially, I feel things are probably pretty stable. I definitely see new financial opportunities coming up for you in the future. You have the Ace of Pentacles, which again is just a financial opportunity. With the King of Pentacles, I would say that this is going to be an opportunity based off of a skill that you have. He has grapes on his cloak, and the grapes in the tarot represent something that is very difficult to grow, or represent something that kind of requires, certain skills. And so, to me, this is kind of like a clue that you are excellent at doing something. Here's excellence right here, Six of Wands, and it's going to lead to an opportunity. For some of you, I feel like you're kind of like taking a break from love because love is coming up in the past. The past position in a Celtic cross like this represents energy that you are moving past, right? So you're kind of like moving past a past lover for some of you. For others, I feel like you're just ready to kind of pick a new path. The lovers traditionally was just the crossroads, being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. So I kind of feel like some of you, this reading's pretty simple. And, what path are you taking? Hopefully the path to victory with the Six of Wands. Pretty crazy to me as well that Six of Wands has come up so much. There's this person here, and they're meant to look kind of like jealous. This person right above my finger there. And, to me, it's kind of like a card where sometimes maybe we're working towards something and maybe people aren't jealous, but like whenever we try to become successful, it's like there could be family members or whatever that are like, don't do that. That's risky and like all this other stuff, right? And maybe they're not doing it to hurt us. They're not necessarily doing it for bad reasons. They're doing it because they think they're protecting us. But protecting us from what, right, is the question. So I feel like for some of you, you need to get on this high horse, as I love saying, because this is a good high horse, the Six of Wands. It says that you deserve success and you will be successful. You have the Hangman coming up in the position of the next few months. I don't think you're necessarily in Hangman mode. I actually feel like you're gaining a lot of answers, is what the Hangman is saying to me. Again, normally, I'm not like the biggest fan of the Hangman because he can represent kind of being stuck or being trapped. And it's... but I don't feel that energy for you. I kind of feel like you're just getting a lot of information over the next few months. You could be, again, getting answers about like a lying, cheating, stealing situation. You could be gaining clarity, but a lot of personal stuff. Like these are personal changes. Again, I think sometimes we go through a lying, cheating, stealing situation. Maybe we have a realization about it, Hangman, in the future, but it causes like personal growth. Maybe we... because of what we've gone through, and we get to Hangman mode where we gain enlightenment, it's like we're able to release it, forgive it, and take it as a learning lesson. But I also feel like you're getting answers for other things as well, like how to make more money, Ace of Pentacles, how to be more successful, so love it. In the area of your closest relationships, this means all relationships, not just love. You have the Page of Cups, so really nice energy if you're like spending time with family, or if you're wanting to spend time with family, or even friends. It could be just like a very fun, energetic time for you. I also do feel that there could be a love offer coming in for you. For some of you, it's a water sign. For others, it could be an earth sign as well. Water and earth really stand out to me. Again, take it how it resonates. Could be any sign that's coming in for you. But this is like some sort of admirer that's coming in for you here with the Page of Cups. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be love. If you have any dreams, by the way, if you're thinking about, what's popping into my head is if you're thinking about starting a business with like a friend or something like that, I actually feel like it could be a very good idea. Page of Cups, in this area, and there you go. Page of Cups in this area could be very good for you. I kind of feel if that is for you, like if you're thinking about teaming up with someone in work or business, I am getting that intuitively you need to look at someone's past behaviors, right? It's like sometimes I think that people, they say things like, I've had friends that in the past that are like, I want to team up in business and all this other stuff. But then something always happens. So like, they're like, oh, I broke my leg and I can't help or whatever. So people sometimes are afraid of success. I would look, it's almost like the person I'm talking to here has like two options. I would say if there's a person who runs away from everything, don't pick that person. Pick the person who actually will do the work. In the area of your future feelings, feeling like you have a lot of options with the Ace of Pentacles. I feel there's a lot of success. I'm also getting like a lot of happiness here as well. It's kind of interesting because, I'm really focused on these rays that you can see coming off of the hand of God there. So it's almost giving me like sun vibes or something. I kind of feel this is like an opportunity that you've waited for as well. It's almost like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that's coming in for you. It's going to require a lot of education. Your outcome is the Hierophant, so it's like you're ascending to a higher level. The whole entire reading basically says you're ascending to a higher level. Six of Wands, two wands, two wands, leaving a comfort zone. He's taking the lead, getting out into the world, expanding. Like, are you kidding me? Pretty simple reading, Libra, but it's good because I feel like you're ascending to a higher level. One thing I will say is that people always say, why do you always talk about education? I'm like, well, we had Saturn and Capricorn in 2017. And, the thing about Saturn and Capricorn, you have this discrimination. So I probably talk about education for you because you need to learn how to pick the right opportunities in life, in work, business, love, and otherwise as well. So what I would say here is that I talk about it because we had Saturn and Capricorn in 2017, which basically says profitable education. You teach yourself something, you will be very successful. And it doesn't matter that Saturn is not in Capricorn because it's going to come back to Capricorn in like 26 years. And so when it comes back, doesn't matter how old you are at that time, the universe can be like, did you learn the lessons? Did you actually do what I told you in 2017, or did you just ignore it? So, I think sometimes people think like, oh, a planet moves, that's it, we're done working with the energy. No, especially those planets like Saturn. With the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, you have this Enthusiasm card. This card popped out. That was the card that I just put back that popped out there. So I feel for a lot of you, it could be a very happy time. And remember what I was saying about the Ace of Pentacles with Sun vibes. I would focus on happiness and things that bring you joy. Could be also a Sagittarius coming in for those of you that want love. I'm also getting something about entertainment here. So if you are an entertainer, or if you do something like for work or business that has to do with entertainment, if you're trying to get a job in entertainment, I don't know. I feel very good about this. I feel like you could be getting something in one of those fields. With the Two of Wands, you have the adaptability card. Every single person has had this. I mean, go to any astrology website that exists right now and search Taurus, full lunar eclipse November 8th. They all start off with adaptability because we have to be super adaptable at this time. We have to look for new opportunities and different ways of doing things. Taurus, fixed energy. We could all have a dream, an idea, a plan, a relationship that we want, and we could be very hyper-focused on one thing, but, really we have to do the opposite, like see all the abundance that exists. With the King of Pentacles, you have the excitement card. Again, there's like a certain amount of excitement in your reading. It doesn't really surprise me with that Sun and Sagittarius card as well. I feel that I would do things that make you excited, and I would be very careful of the party poopers in your life with that Six of Wands, because it's like one of those things. You could be very excited about something, really high about an idea, and then someone could come, speak negatively about it if you share too much, and then you don't want to do it after that because they put you in a bad mood. So I would make sure to maintain this state. Also know when you are happy, people who are miserable will try to rain on your parade. So I would be trying to protect your happiness as much as possible with this excitement card. With the Six of Wands, you have this protection card. So really, there's nothing to worry about. I feel like you are protected, obviously, from party poopers and people who are miserable. There's like a baby here, and that baby looks kind of lazy, It's like, that lazy is like lounging. It looks like it has drool coming out of its mouth. So it's like something has been born. You've birthed a new idea maybe, or maybe you've come up with some things that you want to do. But I feel like it's time to wipe off the drool and get your ass moving, as I've been saying lately, because I really feel we need to get moving. With the Hangman, you have this ostentation card. Again, a lot of people have been getting this energy as well. They've been getting this card, or there's an ego card in here also. I would be careful of anyone who has a big ego. And here's the other thing as well, is that, there's a difference between a person who has an ego and a person who can back up their ego. If you notice, there's kind of two versions of the same scene on this card. They look very similar, right? But you could also argue that one's real, one's not. So I feel for some of you, and this is Taurus energy as well, for some of you, if you're trying to make a choice in life, any choice at all, period, I would say which decision or choice can you look at and you can say, this puts in the work. If it's a person, is one person a show off in all words, but the other person's a show off, but they can back it up? Again, there's a difference between, if you got it, flaunt it, and someone who just yells at the top of their lungs and is like, I'm great, and just brags all the time, right? So can you tell a difference? Can we get more detail on this? Yeah, you have this companionship card. Definitely could be a love opportunity. I almost feel like you have to be able to tell the difference between kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing and an actual wolf, right? You want the real wolf is what you want. You don't want the wolf that's pretending to be a sheep because they're not being real. And that's what I feel like you need to realize here is it's you could be attracting a badass. That's the feeling I get here. But it's there's two badasses, but one of them isn't really badass. They're actually a sheep in wolf clothing. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. With the Page of Cups, you have this restlessness card. Yeah, don't just rush into a relationship because you're feeling restless. So if you are feeling restless, I would just channel that energy into something. This right here is Hermes, and he has the staff of Hermes, which is all about communication. I kind of feel like channeling your energy into creative projects, communication, writing. You could maybe you need to talk to someone if you're feeling restless in relationships or whatever. But I feel if you could channel your energy, then you won't feel restless, and you'll probably be getting better results in life in general. So it doesn't matter where you're feeling restless at all, period. I would just channel it into something. It could be something simple as well, like a puzzle, Sometimes I think we just have to have an outlet, plain and simple, and I kind of get that feeling here. It's funny how it's not even really, it's kind of like talking about everything to me, just looking at that card. It's not even just focusing on love. To me, it's focusing on pretty much everything that you could possibly imagine. So, I don't know. I feel like some of you need some sort of outlet in your life. Could be like a hobby or something to work on. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Practicality card. It's kind of funny as well that I get this major collective energy that things are actually pretty straightforward, right? Like, for example, if you have a business, I think, or if you want to have a business, things are just going to work. Like you put in the work, it's going to work. Of course, there will be obstacles. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but for the most part, it's going to be straightforward, right? So if something is not working, if something is definitely not working for you, I would try something new in love, in business, in spirituality, pretty much everything. Because, it's like I think the results that we're getting are pretty straightforward. With the Hierophant, you have this isolation card. Some of you could be feeling isolated. Is that such a bad thing at the end of this year? I would say no, especially if you're ascending, if you're raising your vibration. It's like if you're raising your vibration, number one, that's a process that might take the next 3 months until the end of the year, basically into the new year. And that makes sense with the astrology. Number two, it's like when you're doing that, you probably need to find new people to be with anyway. So it's like you're going through this ascension process, and you could be isolated, but at the same time, I don't really see this as a bad thing, Libra. I think this is a good thing. That is leading to a lot of success. So there you go. We're going to do a personalist reading here at the end. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. If you have a question, feel free to pause the reading. If you don't have a question, that's fine too. I'm going to put all 3 cards together, and I'm just going to read them all together as like a personalist reading. So pause now, because I'm going to read the cards if you want to think. If not, you have the Chariot, the Page of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Getting a lot here. So I feel for some of you, clearly this could be new love that's entering into your life. And, again, I feel like it could lead to a victory very quickly. Chariot is a victory. For others, I feel like some of you could be asking if you should travel to meet a person or if they should travel to meet you. I would say yes, based off this energy. There's too much thinking with that Page of Swords. And it's like, my danger, I'll just say this. I always tell people, Neptune and Pisces, if you're in something long distant, it's like you have to be more realistic with Neptune and Pisces. The fantasy of the relationship feels way better than what the actual relationship is. That's not true necessarily, because it's like if you actually experience it in person, then maybe you find out it's really good or you find out it's really bad, but you have to break the spell. And I kind of get this energy here of needing to break some sort of spell that you are under. It's not really a spell. It's just like maybe you've been talking to someone for like 6 months, but it hasn't actually gone anywhere. It's like, no, you have to like set a date to make it happen. I've been saying this since the beginning of Neptune and Pisces. Literally, if you're in something long distance, you need to say, okay, but we need to meet by this time, in next month or within the next 6 months. Maybe you have to like save up money or whatever. But you have to say, we have to meet by this time or we're not doing it, right? Because, again, the fantasy just feels too good. So that's what I'd say here. I also feel for some of you that you just, again, need to break the spell of like something financial. You can see that the Chariot, you have the Page of Swords. Like that Page of Swords, I feel could be you looking to get away from something, because the Chariot is leaving behind the city behind him. And I feel like you need to move towards your true fulfillment. This eclipse, it's pretty interesting as well, if I can't say that enough in these readings, that a lot of them have been about like some sort of fulfillment or feeling very fulfilled. And so I feel a lot of you could need to be focusing on like what makes you fulfilled and needing to move towards fulfillment. So pretty good reading here, Libra. Pretty straightforward. Again, I think it's all about Ascension. This reading shorter than everybody else's, but again, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It means you have less to work on. So there you go. Thank you for being here, Libra. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.